What's going on, everyone? Good morning. This is the Investing Bros. I once again am moved, but this one, I always say it's going to be permanent. You never know. I'm in a different place in the office. The set looks flipped. It's just because I'm in a different corner of the wall. But it's going to be a good show today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We got a lot to talk about because literally within moments of closing out yesterday's show, we were hit with two major stories, major headlines, not just for the day, but these could be two of the biggest stories that Bitcoin and crypto experienced in the entire year of 2023. More than likely, we won't see anything come to fruition until 2024, but that was still a really big day with first the news coming out that X has been approved for crypto payments. That is going to be huge, not even just for Bitcoin, but I'm keeping an eye on you, Dogecoin, especially with your relationship with Elon Musk. And then moments later, we get the news that Grayscale won their lawsuit against the SEC. We're going to talk about what that means because there is some confusion amongst the populace of what that's going to look like for not only Grayscale and Bitcoin, but for spot ETFs in general. We're going to break that down and a lot more. So don't go anywhere. Go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are new here, thank you so much for choosing Investing Bros this morning. We are the channel that comes to you live every single weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and Saturdays from 11 to 12. We break down the TA. We break down the news. We try to keep some common sense in and help you guys determine for yourself what you want to do with your money. If that's a channel you guys love, you found the right spot. This is the greatest community in all of crypto, and the last couple of days have just kind of confirmed that. We're not going to touch too much on all the details we talked about yesterday. Of course, you guys know I am here at Hit Network. There's so much confusion. There's so much chaos happening online. People don't know what to believe, what to think. I continue to urge everybody, first of all, to choose unity and love, but also choose patience and wait. There's so many details that cannot be spoken about that I do think will come to light soon rather than later. Continue to think for yourself. Continue to make your own determination. Everybody deserves to have their own thought, their opinion. But I do urge people to continue to be patient and wait for more to come. And that's all I'm going to say about that today. We're going to be moving forward here, guys, with the Investing Bros community. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of you over the last 48 hours. And there's one thing that I can tell you with absolute certainty. The Bros community is going to keep on growing, and we're going to keep on doing our thing. And we're going to continue to encourage and love on each other and grow and prepare ourselves for this bull market that is going to be coming very, very soon. And if you guys are excited, let me know in the chat. I am joined this morning by my good friend, my co-host, the Florida man, T-Shroom, T-Shroom, how are you holding up? There's a hurricane in your area as we are speaking right now, but you are coming to us live, so you must be doing pretty good.
Yes, Tim. I did not prepare any hurricane special effects, sadly. I wish I had time to, but it's pretty chill. In the Discord, I posted a picture of me out in the hurricane.
You did. Yep.
The hurricane mostly missed the city I'm in, but we have had some showers this morning and some scary thunder last night. But yeah, as I predicted, it was pretty much going to pass by us. I don't know if it's fully passed by us quite yet, but hopefully, those who are in the path of the hurricane are staying safe and, they're doing everything they can to prepare. But I do have a quote of the day, guys.
Okay, here we go.
Genuinely, you don't need to worry about me. The hurricane is not going to do much to me at all. All right, let's take a look here. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's the quote of the day.
It's good. Listen, that is a movie that at one point I think I had almost the entire thing memorized. A very good movie. One of the all-time greats, The Princess Bride. If you guys love The Princess Bride, put a 1 in chat. If you never heard of The Princess Bride, put a 2 in chat. Great movie. Highly recommend everyone goes and watches it. Good quote. Good quote of the day. I do love JT Skinner's comment here in chat. And I promise, guys, we're not going to talk too much football, but I have to read it because JT Skinner says the real hurricane coming to Utah tomorrow. Go Gators. Goodness gracious. I can't wait. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that is going to be exciting. Sure. Another thing to be excited for is we've got another factoid of the day. Right before we get into the charts, we'll look at the factoid of the day. You guys can make your guesses, and then after the end of the charts of the Crypto TA, we will reveal the truth of the factoid of the day. So that's going to be very exciting. Almost exciting as college football kicking off.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. So we're going to get into crypto here in just a second, everybody. Let's get the fact of the day, T-Shroom. Was the fact of the day? Or you have it coming up?
What would have been the fact?
I don't
That
know.
that
I don't
there's a
know what it was.
fact?
But
The
what
fact
is
of the
your fact,
day will
your fact
come
of the day?
just before the charts. So we'll
Oh,
do that.
okay.
We can do
I hear
the
you saying.
econ and we can do the fear and greed, and then we'll get to the factoid of
Let's
the
do it.
day. Tim's very
Let's
eager to get to that fact. He loves a
I
good
love
fact.
facts. I love facts. Yes. All right, let's go. Let's keep going on here. We're going to read some names here. The first commenter of the day that I am seeing, you never know because sometimes YouTube glitches on you. A Mellow Fellow was the first commenter of the day. Congratulations to a Mellow Fellow. Ninja Glock was second. Mike Vollmer is third. Thank you to everybody. Those are our medalists today in the comment section. So
Very
congratulations
nice.
to them. We're also joined by Bobby Smoot, Mr. J, Crypto Trades, Indie Rock Crypto, which man, in here talking about football. Indy, we're going to talk more in Discord. Don't you worry. Eric Wallen is also here. Love seeing Eric. Gia S is here with that blue wrench. Love it, love it. Brian D is here. Good to see you, Brian. Who else do we have this morning? We do have Justin Eubanks, Arson246, Mike Play, Nancy Croy, Al Bundles, Crypto Trappa. Let's see who else. CBD Suddy is here. Brokoshi, No Dinero. Let's get a couple more. I'm going to keep moving on. Pashis is here. Good to see you here, Pashis. Let's see. Yair Navarro, Crypto Billy with the blue wrench, Steve B. And let's get two more, and we're going to call it a day on names. Let's see. Joe Nickel. And the last one I'm going to read. Oh, my goodness. This is perfect because we have been missing him. Everyone's favorite agent of chaos in the comments. Jack Meoffer is here this morning once again. Jack, good to see you. Get some good sleep, buddy. Hope this next hour is very helpful for you. Guys, if I did not read your name, because I know there's lots of others here, it does not mean that I don't love you. It just means it's time to get into some of this good content. You guys are awesome. Continue to smash that like button. Let's go ahead and take a look at the economic outlook of the day, which I have to clean up here. I refreshed.
Clean it up, Tim.
We're just going to look at the United States for today, and we're going to move on. Let's go back to dates. Okay, there we go. Nope, did the wrong thing. What did I do? I think I put only United Kingdom. I don't know.
You didn't
refresh. Time to refresh. Here we go. There we go. It's still giving me Great Britain. Anyway, we got this morning the GDP growth rate the quarter over quarter. Second Eastern Standard Time, 2.1% is what it came in at. It was expected at 2.4, so a little down from our consensus. Something definitely keep your eyes on. Let's keep moving on here. Personal income coming out tomorrow. Definitely keep your eye on that. And also core PCE is coming out month over month. So that will be very important. That is tomorrow, Thursday, the 31st. Keep on scrolling down. Friday, we will get that non-farm payroll and unemployment rate. Of course, we're going to talk about interest rates coming because price action is spiking. I have some interesting thoughts still about what Bitcoin price is going to look like moving forward, and some of these things could play a role in helping determine that. So that's what we're looking at kind of for the rest of this week. We'll cover you next week, what's happening next week, kind of later on this week on Friday, and then get into that next week as well. Moving over to liquidations, Bitcoin taking the lead. 25 million longs were liquidated. 50 million shorts were liquidated. As some people want us to make sure we point out, this is a very small fraction of the total money supply. But what this is issuing, it doesn't really have effect on price. It just is implying to you how many people were in leverage trades thinking that they would go one direction and they end up getting ruined. Also, experienced traders love to see where people are over leveraged and they take exposure. That's one of the ways that a lot of people make money is by taking it from traders who don't really know what they're doing with trading. But this is a bullish sign when you see things red. Ethereum's in the red with 29 million, 22 million of those shorts being, of those trades being short liquidations, others coming in really high here. So bullish day as a whole when it comes to the liquidations perspective. Let's take a look at Trueflation ticking up a little bit today. We didn't talk about this necessarily yesterday, but it is sitting at 2.74. It's not ridiculously high, but you guys here a couple weeks ago, we were down almost all the way to 2% in the Trueflation. So we are ticking back to the upside. While we know that officials don't look at this number, It's important for us as Americans to look at this. And so we're seeing this go up. There should be reason to be concerned. You're more than likely going to be seeing this affect your everyday life. Watch gas prices, watch food prices, watch everything else. Inflation has not gone away, even if we have good news. Now we're moving on to CME futures, and we're going to break this down, guys. And this is a bullish thing we're looking at this morning. But I have to put someone told me the other day that when you say something and then say the word but, you just negated everything you just said and you made it all negative. So they say you use and. So this is a bullish sign. And I have questions.
Nice.
About what this means. You can see we have jumped back up for September. Even though we really never lost the prediction that we were going to go ahead and pause this month, it had dropped down into the 70s with more than 20% saying that we were going to have a rate hike in September. But it has jumped back up almost to 90%, up to 88.5. What this means, and we talked about this, I don't remember exactly which day. I think yesterday. I think we took a look at this. We were predicting yesterday there was actually over a 50% prediction that we were going to get a rate hike in November. Well, that has switched up. Now 58.8% saying we will stay paused, 37% saying that we will raise 25 basis points, 3% saying we'll raise 50. Then you move on into December, 57% saying we will stay paused, 35% saying that we will raise rates, 3% saying 50 points, and then almost 5% saying we'll actually cut. Let's see where we actually get our first prediction of a rate cut, though, because it's looking like they're once again predicting that we will not have any more rate hikes. And now they're saying May would be the first time we drop to the 5 to 5.25. 36.7% saying that will be the first rate cut. Now, I told you guys, this is bullish because yesterday we had expectations that potentially we're going to see a rate hike. That's bearish for Bitcoin, for crypto, for stocks, for everything. Then we had some news break that was very favorable towards Bitcoin and crypto. But to my knowledge, nothing necessarily too ridiculously crazy has changed when it comes to traditional finance. And yet, these predictions all changed. Why is that? I've told you guys. I believe there's some manipulation in the space right now. Bitcoin is a big topic, not just in crypto, but when you're getting and looking into institutions and traditional finance and the people that want to invest in Bitcoin, the incentive for them to pump prices at certain points, to take profit and then suppress the price down so they can gather more supply, I think we're seeing those stars kind of align. And it's one of those things that I really hope I am wrong, but you're seeing this all play out. And when you think about it logically, this is what is making the most sense. Let's keep moving on, though. We're going to get into the charts here in just a second. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, ticking all the way up to 49. Guys, yesterday it was at 39. Yes, we got like an 8% pump on Bitcoin. Yes, we're back up above 27,000. I believe we touched 28,000, depending on what exchange you're looking at. But it pumped 10 points on the Fear and Greed Index. Guys, we thought a pump was coming. We talked about that even yesterday. I didn't know the news was going to break. I didn't know it was going to happen within hours of doing the stream. But we discussed the fact that more than likely price would tick to the upside and to a certain level. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But it did just that. But this Fear and Greed Index jumping up into neutral, almost to 50. Another interesting point. Another interesting detail. Definitely want to keep your eyes on. Let's take a look at our coin market cap open. We're just looking at what is happening in the crypto world over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin up, even though it went total of 8, it's down a little bit. So 5% up in the last 24 hours. Ethereum up 4%, BNB 3, XRP 2, Cardano 1, 1.5. Dogecoin's up 4.5. Solana's up 6%. So Solana had a little bit bigger gain than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, look at this, guys, how many coins Bitcoin outpaced. Toncoin up 15%. That's not a coin I don't think I've ever done technical analysis on. So whether we are able to do that today or not, I don't know. But that's something we probably will explore a little bit more, even if it's in a bro time or something. Let's see. Any other big movers? Bitcoin Cash up almost 12%. Wrapped Bitcoin up almost 6%, 5.5%, kind of similar to Bitcoin. Let's take a look at our biggest gainers and losers, because those are just our top 20. Stacks is number one at 18%. Toncoin coming in second at 15%. Then you got the Bitcoin Cash sitting at 12%. A lot of different things. Pepe rebounding, a lot of rumors. Is Pepe a rug pull? Is it done? Is it gone? Or was it simply removing some bad actors who were part of the initial team? And now it's a pure team that can continue just to push forward. Who knows exactly what is happening here? By the way, shout out to Crypto Seth. Thank you so much for that super chat. Keep up the great content, Tim. Thank you so much, Seth. You do the same because you're awesome too. Go follow Crypto Seth and all of the gem hunters. We haven't gotten to have a gem hunter on recently. There's been a lot of chaos. We want you guys back on the show. Fridays, gem hunters. I still want that to be a thing. I want people to know that's not like nothing happened. Like we are not with them. There's been chaos last couple weeks. We want gem hunters back on. Let's keep moving on here, though. Let's take a look at the biggest losers. I don't think there's going to be a lot of them, but let's look. Yeah, Astar, number 98, down 1.69%. Monero, down number 27, but that's a privacy coin, down 1.2, not significant. DYDX, not even down 1%. So not a lot of bearishness, even of the coins that are bearish. You don't have to go that far until you're looking at the biggest losers and the colors turn green. So not a bearish day whatsoever for crypto. But it is time to get into the charts. But first, you guys know I'm excited about it. It's that fact of the day that T-Shroom teased not that long ago, and I want to know it. Wait, are you going to give us the fact, or are you going to ask us a question that we get the answer to the question later on in the stream?
Tim, the answer to that question is what's on my screen right now.
Okay.
Question.
All right.
In what year and month was the very first Bitcoin transaction made where a man famously exchanged 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas? Those must have been some good pizzas, Tim. Our options here are May 10th, August 2009, December 2010.
That's not it. Okay.
July 2011. Would you like to phone a friend, Tim?
I would like to phone a friend. I want to go to my screen real quick. Can you go to my screen?
You want to go to your screen?
We're going to look at the history of Bitcoin price here for a second. I don't. It's definitely not 2009. And I don't think it's. I'm really leaning towards 2011, but it also really depends on price action. What date did you say? May of 2011?
The options are May of 2010, August 2009, December 2010, July 2011.
All right, so I'm looking at price action. Bitcoin in 2011 in May was $8. So 10,000 of them would have been a lot of money. So that means it has to be 2010. What were my options in 2010 again?
May 2010, December 2010.
December of 2010, it would have been pushing towards $1, so that's not going to be it. You said May of 2010. It's so small. I'm going to go with May of 2010. Final answer. Are you going to give me the answer now, or we have to wait till after
the charts?
All right, there we go, guys. After the charts. Why would you say? Goodness gracious. All right. Well, guys, it is time for the charts. Thank you to everyone who's here. We have almost 200 people watching. Thank you, everyone. Smash the like button. We're about to jump in and look at what is happening in Bitcoin because we broke out of a very boring range. But first of all, shout out to the sponsor of the chart section, Chart Prime. You guys know we use their indicators every single day. They are fantastic as indicators, fantastic company, fantastic people. You guys, though, when you use our link down below, you guys, there's no discount out there. We have the best discount. We're the best place to buy Chart Prime because when you go look at the description, you get 45% off your first month or your quarter. You're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. You just go to the website, you pay full price. Make sure you use our link to help you out. And if you want to trade and you want to make some money, you want to use their indicators. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is happening here. Daily chart doesn't give me a good story. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Now, when we're looking at this, we are getting flashes of being overextended to the upside here. There were reversals. Of course, we did reject on the 4-hour chart. We're going to keep our eyes on that. I'll talk a little more about that. But we had just spent, ever since the 17th, we'd spent a lot of time in a very boring range that we talked about. It was going to take some sort of catalyst to break us out. Now, I will say I was one who thought that we would touch lower maybe first. I didn't know we were going to have a breaking story of the lawsuit being won against Gary Gensler and the SEC. We did have our high volume bottom. I told you guys we're going to come back down to these levels again. We came back down again with lower volume, but not necessarily the low volume I really wanted. We didn't necessarily get a confirmed volume breakout, so I was not convinced it was time to go just yet. But this is what happens sometimes. More often than not, you want a low volume spring to spark the whole thing. But when you do get a big story and you start to see the green candles with green volume, that is the confirmation breakout. So, of course, it's not the TA. It's not the TA that's telling us this. It was, of course, the news. However, the charts are kind of backing that up and saying, guys, hey, when you see this confirmation break above resistance with the high volume, that is your confirmation that we are going to be moving to the upside. Now, some of you guys who watch every single day, you know the levels that we talked about. You know that I discussed the fact that I believed we would be coming back up. Let's go back onto the daily chart and look at this before we break down oscillators. You know that I talked about this rising blue line as well as this yellow T-box here that are they're signaling former support that we have lost, and now it's time to turn it back into resistance. Well, guess what? We haven't quite gotten that high. I don't think we're necessarily done. When I look at the daily chart here, let's take a look. There's still a lot of room you can move to the upside, even just to get to the mid levels. Now, the RSI is a little bit above that mid level. Let's watch to see how that kind of reacts. With the chart prime oscillator, though, we could still make a move to the upside, rejecting right around that mid zone and head back down to the downside. I'm still going to keep my eyes on those levels. As you move lower, like we already said, the 4-hour chart, we did get a rejection. Just watch a little retracement and a bounce back up. Watch for some bearish divergence on RSI. Look for bearish divergence to pop up on our chart prime oscillators. When we make a move up here again towards this area where we kind of have that coinciding hit of 28,600 with the blue line and the yellow line. The reason why I'm looking at those levels, guys, is because it's not just the rising blue level of support that we need to go back up to. Look at where we kind of have a zone between 28.5 and 28.6 where this was used as support literally just a month ago. You're going to look at this. If I were to kind of separate this into sections, it's really hard to kind of dissect all this area, but as a whole, it's kind of like that. And then, of course, we have this line right here. We have been moving in zones ever since rising up here back in June. Have a couple wicks that drop below, but as a whole, this area right here, 29.8, was very, very strong support. We lost it. We came down, kind of set new bottoms here between 28.5, 28.6. But then look, even though we have some wicks that went above, look at where all those candle bodies are closing. We used the former support zone as resistance. Then back here on the 17th, when we started to lose all of this, we come down. It's normal price action to retest former support levels as resistance. So I will continue, guys, to be keeping my eyes on candles coming up towards maybe even a wicks breaking slightly above 28.6, slightly above this blue line. But do not be surprised, and we're going to break this down more in the news. Do not be surprised if something happens and all the bullishness that's happening right now in the news that everyone's so excited about Bitcoin gets a little more rain on its parade, and we end up dropping back down at least to 25.2. But you guys know I'm still keeping my eyes down here towards 20,000. I don't know what the news is going to be. I don't know if they're going to try to bring back some new pandemic. I don't know if the stock market is going to have something big happen. I don't know if they're going to change their mind about interest rates and then raising more interest rates because inflation's going out of control. I don't know if we're just going to see a manipulative move where all the news is positive, but out of nowhere, a massive amount of Bitcoin is dumped, freaking out the whole market, and we drop down to 20,000. This is what I'll tell you. I still remain confident that we are not setting a new low for the bear market. I still believe we're seeing a similar move to what we saw back in 2019. By the way, guys, I said this before. Where do I think that we are at the moment? If this was a repeat of 2019, I think, guys, we just came to right here. We did this whole move. We moved sideways. We came down. This was what we just went through. And it's not identical. It's just similar. We had something spark us. I don't remember the exact detail, news, whatever, that made us have this quick spike up, but that happened. And then look how we continue to keel over and come down even lower. Yes, we went lower than this when the pandemic happened later on in March, but in reality, even if the pandemic had never happened, we were still doomed here in December to come back down to lower levels. Not new bear market lows, but new lows for this pullback. I believe this is where we are sitting right now, guys. do not be surprised to see a repeat of history and a pullback down to lower levels. And once again, those lower levels, what makes the most sense is if we lose 25.2 to come down and fill this CME gap that we have down here. It technically goes as low as 19,940, but there are levels in significant areas to suspect maybe 19.7, 19.9 are interesting. By the way, just take a look at that. Let's look at fixed range volume profile. You guys will see exactly why that is. While we have a point of control right here around 19.2. But what I'm kind of really keeping my eyes on is a low right here on 19. See, this is not going to give me everything on it. That's the wrong chart. Let's go back to this chart here. This is the chart where I want to kind of look at this. Excuse me, guys. Let's go back all the way to all-time high, and let's go to where we are right now. Let's take a look at what volume is saying. Yeah, point of control, it's saying down is all the way 1,600. There's a chance Piper covered some great TA last week about why a double bottom is possible. That's not what I'm going to continue to dive in on. What I'm going to take a look at here, guys, keep your eyes right here on this level at 25.2, significant support, and yet that is a valley in the volume. I'm telling you guys, I've said this before, everyone likes to pay attention to peaks, but not as many people pay attention to volume, to the valleys. Keep your eyes on peaks. Keep your eyes on valleys. Another peak around 22.9. We've talked about that level several times. It's another one that you're going to possibly see some pauses at. You're going to see a valley around 21.9. You guys know that I believe, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, with price action coming down back below 20,000, I'm not going to be surprised to see the candle body open somewhere around 22,000 at the lowest, and then a wick shoot down, and within the same day on the daily chart, the candle body will close back up above these levels. I think people will jump on and scoop up $20,000 Bitcoin like it is, I don't even know what analogy I want to use, but we're going to go with it. People are going to jump on it very, very heavily. What I'm keeping my eyes on below these levels, though, there's a peak right here at 19,200. There's a valley right here at 19.7. There's also another peak right here about 20,000. I'm kind of watching this right here, everybody. This 19.7. That's also, you guys can see the exact level where we bottomed and wicked back here on March 10th. There's a reason why that level is significant. Keep your eyes on those levels. To me, whenever I pick levels like this, I never buy right at them. I go a little bit above them. I'm going to have a buy-in order for Bitcoin sitting at 19,900 because that is where the CME gap is has the ability to close at. Price never closes right there. It usually drops a little bit lower. But I like my buy option at 19,900. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Let's take down some of these things here as well. Let's break down some other things here with Bitcoin using our oscillators. We already looked at the oscillators. Let's take a look here. Is the indicators on Chart Prime telling us anything of significant? Look at this daily chart. We bounced right back up and rejected at the dynamic reactor here on Bitcoin. So that is something to definitely keep your eyes on. Multi-time frame support and resistance. So again, we still have some of that kind of giving us some confirmation around the 28.6 level. There is a really strong support level. Let's go. We got to go down the 4-hour chart to get some more details with this. But there is a really strong 12-hour level right here at 29.3. So if we blow through that 28.6, which is the strongest 4-hour level of resistance, watch out for 29.3 is another level to keep your eye on. We, of course, have some order blocks in that area as well, but I do believe we're waiting for a later date to fill those order blocks. We did just come up here and begin. It looks like we have not completely filled it, which is another reason to suspect. I told you earlier, even though we're rejecting right here, I think we're going back to the upside because, look, we came up to this order block. We did a little bit of filling, but we still have a very high amount of volume here. I think that price is just reloading. Watch a push back up, not just to this order block, but again, up to the 4-hour strongest resistance up here. Now, we do have a lot of support down to that $25,000 region once again, but you can see when zooming out that after that, you lose pretty much everything until when? 19,700. Chart Prime doing a great job here, giving us multi-time frame support and resistance levels to keep your eyes on. That is what I'm looking at, everybody. Let's see here. Last thing I'll do, and some people want to see this hourly chart. What are we looking at like on the hourly chart? This kind of gives a great indication of what the next 12 to 24 hours will look like. Let's take a look what the oscillators are doing with their reloading. Got to give them a load. All right, yeah, so we did get overextended. Great call here by Chart Prime telling us overbought. giving us a red reversal. The oscillators were massively overextended. RSI getting up to 98 here. Our MVP oscillator massively overextended. We are not flashing buy just yet. So there's a chance that we continue to trade sideways or maybe a little bit more to the downside while we see the oscillators continue to drop to reload. But do not be surprised and do not this is what you're looking for, especially if you use chart prime. Watch this hourly chart to see some green histograms come in. The oscillators get a little bit lower, and then I think that's a good buy, short-term trade to swing back up here. And again, we're not just talking about getting back up to 28.1. I'm keeping my eyes on 28.6. That is where I would be taking profit if I am in a long trade here on Bitcoin. With that said, what time do we have? It is 9:31, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a very quick, extremely quick look at a couple other coins. Let's take a look at Cardano, just see what it's doing on the hourly chart. Of course, you're going to see a lot of similar price actions to Bitcoin. So don't necessarily, we're not going to do a bunch of TA, but we are getting those green histograms on Cardano coming in, saying this is a good chance to buy. RSI is back below the 30. We're seeing a rounding off on the oscillator here on Cardano. So might be a good time to pick up some Cardano. Let's see what XRP is doing. XRP kind of getting close. It's down. It did not drop below the 30 on the RSI, but it is super low. We have a couple, I don't know if you guys can see that, just a couple of green histograms. Not a lot, though. Might maybe enter a little bit right now and maybe have a little bit lower you might want to look at or wait a little bit longer. But we are starting to see the signs on XRP that it might be time to enter into a long on XRP. Again, if you're doing a short trade, I'm not talking about major levels. I'm not saying we're going to set new all-time highs or anything. I don't even think we're going to set new yearly highs. I just think we're popping back up. For XRP, of course, you got to keep your eyes on these levels. We already rejected at 55 cents, that level that has been very significant here on the Investing Bros channel. We talk about a lot. I think there's a chance it pops up a little higher to the higher range of this 57 cents. But I would probably be the type of person right now in a long situation, I'm going to take my profit around the 55 to 57 cent range and along on there. And if it goes a little higher, that's okay, because I do think dips are coming in later. I'll be able to scoop up more XRP later. Now, when it comes to DCA strategy, by the way, guys, I want to continue to keep you guys updated on this. DCAing and trading are completely different things. Continue to use your DCA strategy. It is the safest way to secure that you do not miss the bull market. I cannot tell you how many people try to only trade and try to only buy lows and only sell tops, and then they get lost and they get stuck out of things. But if you're DCAing, and these levels are beautiful DCA levels, you will be heavily rewarded come mid to late 2025 when we're getting towards the peak of the bull market. Make sure you have multiple investing strategies, one that's very safe in a DCA strategy and one that's a little more risky with taking some swing trades. And then one, I'm okay if you're really risky and want to do some day trading. Just make sure that's not the majority of your portfolio and it's not what you're thinking you're going to make the most money from. DCA is the way. That's the end of our technical analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. It's time to enter into the Brocam Tish Room, get the official answer to our fact of the day, and get some announcements before we move into some of the news stories that are hitting us over the last 24 hours.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to show the answer to the
What did you do?
The question here. What?
Oh, you said you were trying. I didn't know if it went away on you.
Oh,
I said May, right? I said May of 2010. Okay. All right.
So here's the answer. It is May 2010. This event is now celebrating in the crypto community as Bitcoin Pizza Day every May 22nd. So how about that, Tim? I think you got it right.
I did. And again, it's one of those things. I saw someone say July. Just looking at price action, like July 2009 was too early. Almost nobody even knew what Bitcoin was. In 2010, not many people knew what Bitcoin was. But when you're looking at price action, he spent 10,000, and we're talking about he probably spent he bought 2 pizzas, right? Probably around $30 to $40. In July, it was like 80 cents. So that would have been, he would have spent thousands of dollars. He would have spent like $6,000. So that's doesn't make sense. But spending, when it was, I couldn't even see the price in May. It was so low. So that's why I went with that level. So good. I liked that one, T-shirt. I really liked that one. Definitely continue to find some others. I'm also glad because I think every fact of the day to this point, I've had literally no guess. I liked the multiple choice option. That was a big improvement. And yeah, so let's keep that one going. Some announcements for you guys. So here's another thing I'll say as we start this off, and T-Shroom, I know you have some too. We did not do a price prediction this week. Obviously, Monday and Tuesday, just a lot going on with what I'm doing, what's happening over here. So this week we are taking the week off of Bitcoin price predictions. We do the biggest bull and bear of the week, trying to guess how high and how low Bitcoin can get. That will be back next week. So make sure if you guys missed that one, you'll come back next week. To enter that, you do need to be a member. So make sure you guys join our members down below. Great group. Fantastic stuff. We have some great conversations, not only just in Discord typing out, but with our bro times on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We get some great stuff covered. So make sure you're a part of that. T-Shroom, I don't know if you want to announce it, but we do have a big update on how you can be, if you are sitting here wondering how do you continue to leverage trade or even know what to do, because the United States exchanges are just, they come and they go and they're up and they drop, and it's really hard to know, hey, what is the exchange I should be using consistently to trade? Well, we're not going to give you details in this show, but we are going to talk about this probably a little bit more with our members, because there is a solution, but you'd have to be in our Discord to even know that, and we'll talk more about the details in our membership groups. So make sure you guys are a part of those, and if you are looking for a good way to trade and you're an American citizen, I want to make sure I clarify this. It is not illegal. It is not. This is going to be a legal way to do this, but we want to make sure we get our ducks in a row with how we explain it. But our members, we're definitely going to be able to explain it to you guys in our bro time. So make sure you're a part of that. T-Shroom, what other announcements do we have for everybody this week?
We'll do it in the Saturday show, and then we've also got
Yep.
Twitter Spaces tonight at 5:45 Eastern Standard Time. Definitely looking forward to that. And then I've got a pretty big announcement. ADA Ace, you see him in the Discord, you see him in the chat here sometimes. Him and I are going to be putting together a Cardano DeFi series on all the ways that the ADA Ace has been able to optimize. If you are in the Discord, you've seen how he shouts out all these different strategies in Cardano DeFi. Well, we're going to be organizing that, putting it all together so that you can follow us down the rabbit hole of Cardano DeFi and hopefully get some nice insights on how you can take advantage of that ecosystem for sure. And ADA Ace is saying great tease in the chat. So that is still to come. The post date for that series is TBD.
Yeah.
And TBD means to be determined. To Bitcoin determined. All right. That was a great joke there. All right. Are we ready to get into the news?
Yeah. Well, I'm reading a couple of chats here.
Okay.
Crypto Billy said Tim busting it down, resembling Bolt by Bolt right here. Love it. Love it. Jack Me Offer says, how does one bring back a new pandemic? Well, good question, Jack. You can't bring back new, but you can bring back with new. We'll see how that goes. We're not going to get into the details of all of that and do any fear mongering or anything. But here's what I will say, and I'm sure a lot of you are this way. If they do attempt to bring back restrictions from a past pandemic for a new pandemic, it's probably not going to go the way it went last time. And it's probably not going to be something. I'm not too concerned. Some people I know are like fear mongering about it. They're like I'm like, no, I think our country learned very much so. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are on. We can all agree that whole time sucked and probably was not as necessary as people suggested. But if there is something that comes out, if there is, if people are getting COVID again, if people are getting sick again, continue to be safe, everybody. Be healthy. Keep your distance from people you think could infect, especially for anyone who interacts heavily with children or older generations. No matter what your belief system about the pandemics were, we can all agree that the sadness is people dying and people not being able to see each other. We do not want to go through the same mental crisis that this country went through, and we do not want to see the same death toll that the country went through. So no matter what happens, continue to be safe, but also don't be fearful and afraid, because that causes just as much, if not more, chaos than anything in reality. So be safe out there.
For sure.
Let's get into the news, T-Shroom.
Let's do it. On the way over to the news, just take a quick look at the indexes. They're open. We're 10 minutes in the New York session, all green across the screen. NASDAQ just ticking red as I'm saying that. But Dow and the S&P posting some pretty robust gains there. Let's see In the mega cap space, who's leading the way? Google is green, Oracle's green, but Apple's actually leading the way up 0.6. Tesla cooling down after a 7% move to the upside yesterday. Some pretty exciting stuff. Well, guys, we do have some more exciting stuff right here. Breaking news: Bloomberg Intelligence believes spot Bitcoin ETF could launch this week in the U.S. That's pretty crazy. And Bloomberg Intelligence is the source for this. Crypto Potatoes running this story right here. And as you can see, here's kind of the evidence. I actually posted this yesterday, 16 hours ago. After the court ruling, the SEC was wrong to reject the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. What's next? Well, these are the dates, right, that the next decisions are. So you got Bitwise is kind of the next big one up. Bitwise, guys, could be the company that delivers you the first spot Bitcoin ETF on September 1st. And then the BlackRock, the Wisdom Tree, Van Eyck, Invesco, Galaxy, Fidelity on September 2nd, Valkyrie on September 4th, and then ARK and 21 shares look like they're having to wait until November 11th. That's all detailed in this graphic that you can go check out on my Twitter at @tshroom if you'd like. But all of that is maybe wildly exciting news to you if you have not seen this headline, which is the Grayscale ruling does not guarantee Bitcoin spot ETF approval. This is kind of some digestive titling here. This is essentially, kind of bringing us down from the excitement. Let's read a couple of the details here. While most market participants are rejoicing, some remain cautious about the optimism draining out of the current euphoria among loyalists. However, final decisions on when and if Grayscale will be able to list its product as an ETF are yet to be made. An analyst added, pointing out that some 2.5 million Bitcoin are held at a short-term loss that may serve as headwinds in the coming month. So, Tim, this was a huge headline yesterday. I'd have to say I still don't think I've covered it completely well. Guys, Grayscale won a case against the SEC yesterday. That's why Bitcoin was pumping so much. One of the main reasons why Bitcoin was pumping so much yesterday. There's more news to cover here, but this is by far the biggest story in a long time. And in fact, a Twitter poll that we put up actually says that exact thing. We said, which was more important, the Grayscale lawsuit win or the XRP win? And 63% said Grayscale v. SEC case win was a bigger deal, and that's out of 46 votes. So Tim, we have the whole picture now. Do you agree, kind of here with this Coinbase article, that we should pump the brakes, not get so excited, at least for Grayscale, or what do you think? Do you think we have a spot Bitcoin ETF by the end of the week?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I don't think we'll have a spot ETF approved by the end of the week. It is a big win for multiple reasons. I want to start though by saying, which do I think was the bigger win, the XRP lawsuit or the Grayscale lawsuit? And I understand why people would vote for either one of them because there's a lot of weight to both of them. But I'm going to say the XRP lawsuit was a bigger deal, T-Shroom. And clearly it has a smaller market cap. So for it to double, which is what it did, it went up 100% within a day. That's a big deal right there, just in price action. But let's remember the weight and gravity of what that signified in the crypto space. It didn't just win something for XRP. It helped set a precedent that would cover many, many, many altcoins in the future. So whether or not you can make an argument about immediate impact or not, I think in the future, when we go on and we
Hey, Tim. I don't know if you're in here or not, bro, but I'm in here trying to get some stuff running, guys. So, yeah, what Tim was saying there, to everybody, I'm just jumping in live here from Texas onto the stream, trying to keep it going here for you. What's up, everyone? If you're in here or not, bro, but Tim, I'm going to drop you a link right now to the to get in here with me, and then we will pull this all up. So, coming your way in 1 second. And to the guy that said Christian threats, bro. I'm not a Christian. I'm a fucking warrior. I won't take that stuff in the streams, just so you know. So you can, come on out here to El Paso, Texas. DM me on Twitter. I'll send you my address. You can come on out here, and I'll show you how big of a man I am. So, Tim, sending that stuff to you now. Just so you know. So you can, come on out here to El Paso, Texas. DM me on Twitter. It's on Discord, bro. So yeah, everybody, TA charts. Let's go do some charts, shall we? I know they were talking about some stuff. I was listening in on the stream, but not exactly in here 100%. Tim should be coming in just a second. And T-Shroom, if you guys are wondering, T-Shroom out there in Hurricane Alley of Florida, and he has lost his internet. So it happens, man. Yeah, getting everywhere. It was a last second thing. There's Tim. What's up, Tim? Let me get my sound up going here, bro, for you, because I didn't have anything set up for this. One sound. Can you guys hear Tim talking? Tim, can you talk for me?
You hear me now?
Yes, I can. There we go.
There we go. Oh, there's a little bit of an echo, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to fix that. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, and by the way, clean it up. We're gonna wrap this show up here. I mean, we're gonna end in 8 minutes anyway. T-Shroom, I've been talking to T-Shroom, called him. So he lost power. It flickered. It came back on. So he thought he was gonna be good, but then he realized. He told me this morning there was a tree on the internet line that he thought was gonna be okay. So even with his power back on, it looks like he's not gonna have internet. So this will be interesting to see, how we handle the rest of the week. We'll keep you guys posted in the Discord. But T-Shroom is safe. He's good. Just lost power and lost internet. I know it cut off when I was talking about my opinion of the lawsuit. So I'll say this, and we're gonna wrap this show up, guys, and get out of here. Thank you to everyone who stayed around, who's here in the community. You guys are awesome. Again, I can't say it more often and more. Is this is the best community? You guys are the best. My point is, this lawsuit is big because of Bitcoin. But it did not mean that a spot ETF is happening. I don't even know if the timeline has changed. I still think we're talking about 4 to 6 months for the first Bitcoin ETF. You want to know the real weight of this lawsuit is the rumors and it's not rumors. The grumbling of firing Gary Gensler will continue to build. And the reason why is because what is his job as chairman of the SEC? His job is to help regulate dangerous investment securities and things that could be used to hurt people. But he hasn't won a freaking lawsuit in who knows how long. His record is terrible. So he's literally wasting taxpayer money and effectively doing nothing with it. That is the epitome of not doing your job. That is the epitome of being bad at your job. And it's the time, no matter what profession you're in, when you do things like the way he's doing it and you're doing a poor job as he's doing, you lose your job. So the biggest impact of this whole thing could be that Gary Gensler accelerates being out of his position. But I wouldn't say that gives this one a bigger win than the XRP, because the XRP to me was the bigger loss for Gary Gensler and the SEC. Both of these lawsuits are huge. Both of them are absolutely astronomical for the crypto space and for Bitcoin. But continue to be vigilant, guys. Don't be sheep. Continue to look out for potential manipulative market movements to continue to push Bitcoin price to the downside. Piper, it's 9:55, and we're going to wrap it up here. But thank you so much for jumping on. Any thoughts you have? And we're so glad to see you this morning. But any thoughts you have?
Thanks. Wasn't expecting to be on here.
No.
No, I look, at the end of the day, there's all kinds of things going on macroeconomic wise. So,
Yeah.
when you look at what's coming with PCE tomorrow, I think it's going to give us a very good perspective on the road ahead and the months that we have ahead. So, I'm going to be watching it close. That's for sure. So,
well, guys, we're going to wrap it out here. We're going to go and close the show off. Here's what I want to say. I said this in the comment section. I'll say it again live. I don't even know if people are still here. Everything happening right now sucks. I cannot comment anymore from legal standpoints and so many other standpoints. I urge you to be patient, continue to form your opinions, continue to take in information and do with it what you will. But I would actually tell everyone, no matter which side you're leaning, be slow to cast judgment on anyone right now, because you don't know all the details, and the details eventually will come to light. But no matter what you think, I really hope you're like many of us. There's no teams here. We're not team hit. We're not team hit. We're not team Ben. We're team this sucks, and we want to see this pass and a peaceful resolution. But no matter what your thoughts are, in this community, Investing Bros community, we are here to continue to grow and learn and educate, be respectful. We don't want to ban anybody. We don't want to get rid of people. But if you're going to continue to come in with toxic comments and toxic ideas and try to just create chaos, mods, no, we're going to start banning some people like that. So give them chances. Continue to try to talk with them. But this, I mean, like James Sachs, man, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're engaging. I want to talk to you, man. I know you're hurt. I know you're confused, and you might have a lot of opinions in your brain. I want you here, man. I don't want to see you out of, I don't want to ban you. I don't want anyone to be banned, but I do want you to be respectful. And you can continue to ask questions, but know that the people that do know details are not allowed to say the answers to them. This is a part of America that everyone deserves due process. Everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves to get their day. But when you don't know the details, it's really hard to cast judgment on anybody individually. And I know people are going to try to take that and spin that. And I'm not saying any details whatsoever because I'm not going to. My whole point is, here in the Investing Bros, be respectful. You can ask questions, but move on. Let's move on. And let's try the best we can to keep going on, because crypto's not going to stop. So love you guys so much. That's all we have for you in today's show. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. T-Shroom even said his internet's back on, but we're just going to close out the show like this. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. See you on X Spaces tonight. With that said, you guys have a great night.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shouted out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word, doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.